Meanwhile, hi, this is Seb.
And this is Marcus. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Today we are doing what, Seb?
Dragons. We're not doing dragons. We're watching House of Dragons.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, kind of excited.
Low hopes. I would like to set my standards
hopes.
really low
Low
for
hopes.
this, but I'm kind of
Yeah.
excited. Let's get into it. Oh.
I do miss that HBO.
A little goosebumpy. This, like, I'm excited. I'm excited.
So was I for the last seasons of Game of Thrones.
It is now the 9th year of King of the series. Okay, 117.
Just getting flashbacks of how bad that ending was.
Oh dear. Nice.
Looks pretty damn good.
Yeah, the CG.
Try not to look too relieved, sir.
Isn't he in The Hobbit?
I am relieved. Every time that golden beast brings you back,
He's the
out of
crazy
wild,
one, the bald one.
saves my head from a spike.
Cyrax is growing quickly. Just assume it's
Oh,
large as Caraxes.
that'll be the door.
That's
Yeah.
large enough to sell.
That'll be the door.
They call him the crab feeder. Inventive methods of punishing his enemies.
That's a terrible
Are we
name.
meant to weep for dead pirates?
No, you're good.
Be more certain of anything. The dream.
Can't wait for you to be wrong, bro.
Our son was born.
He kind of reminds me a little bit of Ned Stark's character. It's like the optimist, you know.
Thundering hooves. Splintering
I don't
shields
think this is
and swords.
optimism. I think this is delusion.
We placed our son upon the throne. As the bells of the grand set.
I don't see him
And all
like
the
Ned
dragons
Stark.
roared
I
above.
see him as like
Born wearing a crown.
Viserys, like Dany's
That isn't
brother,
pleasant enough as it is.
who is just
Yeah,
dumb.
that's true. I mean, I guess, like, we'll see what happens.
This is the last time.
You kind of, because I think it's a Game of Thrones spin-off, like, or prequel, or whatever you want to call it. You do feel this, like, sense of, like, because everything's kind of okay at the moment. If there's any kind of little small piece of drama, you know it's going to come back and haunt everyone.
I know.
And the second he ignored the crab eater,
If I failed you,
that's
then
when you
I-
know,
Exactly.
like, they're all gonna die because of it. Like, he looks like fucking Lubu.
He legit, he looks like a dynasty warrior.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Not the... What on earth?
Any further performances like last night's will be answered.
He's like
Understood.
the least threatening person on this council.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I'll be cautioned. Cool.
Queen Emma has begun her labors.
Aye.
May the luck of the seven shine upon all combatants.
The jinx of the jinx right here, man.
Damn, the cinematography looks good there. I mean, I guess it's Game of Thrones, it's HBO.
Yeah.
Expect it.
It all feels really good.
Tongues will not change the succession. Let them wag.
He is deluded.
In it, it's so obvious he's gonna like die,
Yeah.
get betrayed. Dude, he legit looks like freaking Skyrim.
Dude, he's Lubu, man.
Or Dynasty. Yeah, he's legit. Lubu.
Straight up Lubu. That helmet doesn't even look aerodynamic. It doesn't look like a logical helmet to wear. Oh. And that's gonna piss him off.
And that, but that, yeah, exactly.
And,
That's
yeah,
gonna piss
I
him
mean-
off. It's gonna make it even worse.
I feel bad for this guy. What on earth? Is that even allowed? Right, I'm expecting her to die, but I'm also expecting it to be a girl to add insult to injury.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Your Grace. You have a son. It's a boy. A new heir, Your Grace.
He's actually just put like a little piece of wood in between his legs.
Reverse Varys. Huh?
The baby died too.
What?
What? How does that work? So the baby died.
They're waiting for you.
To be fair, the Grand Maester did look a little sus.
He did. All maesters are sus. We should know this by now. Dracarys.
Dracarys.
This is like when the real series begins, now that we've had our moment of like, this is when the plot kicks off. Alright, how much do you want to bet that Matt Smith paid the Maester to off that baby?
100%.
He's too sus, man.
Succession be firmly in place for the stability of the realm.
Or
The
maybe
succession is already
he's
set.
sus.
By precedent and by law. Shall we say his name?
What are you saying? My brother would murder me.
Yeah.
Take my crown.
Yes.
Are you?
Yes.
Please.
Is he gonna turn into a lizard now or some shit?
My
Andrew Garfield comes in.
He's whoring off his daughter.
He's sus.
You might wear one of your mother's dresses.
The
Oh
fuck?
dear. He kind of gives me a little bit of like a little finger vibe.
Yeah, for sure.
Like he's just
for sure.
you just don't know. It was at this moment
Whoa!
the villain arc begins. All these pledges and stuff don't mean anything in the show like this. I pledge allegiance to stab you in the back at some point.
By the old gods and the new.
So he reminds me of Varys. Also reminds me of Littlefinger.
You know what? They're probably doing this on purpose to like give us like false flags.
Beacon of the South, defender of the Citadel, Lord of Winterfell.
Aegon saw absolute
Nice.
darkness riding on those winds, and whatever dwells within will destroy the world of the living.
Yeah, well, we all know how that turned out.
Yeah, not well.
All of Westeros was
Night
held
King.
hostage. And if
More
the
like
world of
Night
it is to survive, a Targaryen
Bitch.
must be something else. King or queen, strong enough to. Aegon called his dream the Song of Ice and Fire.
Oh.
I'm just getting flashbacks of how bad it was.
It's been passed from king to heir since Aegon's time.
I hope they don't reference Game of Thrones
Now
ever
you must
again.
promise to carry
It's
it.
PTSD.
Oh, it is quite nice to hear that theme song again.
I didn't even realize George was actually involved in this one.
There we have it, ladies and gentlemen. House of the Dragon. Episode 1. Immediate thoughts, Marcus.
I enjoyed it. I went in with no expectations. I haven't really read much about this at all. Like, I didn't even know what it was going to be about. I just knew it was based in the past. I knew it was going to be about the Targaryens. I always had a feeling Matt Smith was going to be the bad guy, or at least at the moment he's kind of being portrayed as like, you know, the potential villain. But
I have a feeling he's obviously meant to be like a bad guy. but I also have a feeling that he might not be. But I'll let you finish first.
I agree. I think that's the thing with the show is like they've kind of made it in a way where everyone is sus. Everyone, I don't because of Game of Thrones. I don't trust any character that I'm watching, including like just anyone, including myself watching this. I don't trust no one. Because more often than not in the old show, they just 360'd all the characters, and we'll see what happens here. You know, we'll see what happens.
I think it's the Hand of the King Otto. I think he's because like there was that one shot of him kind of like walking up the stairs ominously on his own, like, and he has like some weird like lingering looks. I think he's the evil one behind the scenes. That's manipulating this conflict between the brothers.
Yeah,
because I think he knows Matt Smith is angry, but I don't think Matt Smith is the prime. Like, he's gonna be like the sword, but I'm gonna say Otto is
the mastermind. Yeah, I think Matt Smith is going to be driven into becoming a villain. Yeah, I agree. Like, Otto's sus. I mean, he sent his daughter in to comfort the king, and you're just kind of like, that's
that was weird. That was so weird.
Wear your mother's dress. Like, that's just weird.
Yeah, that was really weird. I don't even know. Yeah,
that's really sus. It's hard to tell at the moment because it was a setup episode. Like, it's an introduction to all the characters, the world.
I'd say, you know, as pilots go, it was pretty good. You know, it kind of got us interested. It introduced us to all the characters. Reintroduced us to the world. The visuals looked good. There were certain scenes where it does look too video gamey, I feel, and that's mainly down to how nowadays we consume our media on like 4K monitors and everything's in like 4K, and it's just like so obvious. Where, you know, I feel like maybe adding like some film grain or like blending it better slightly, but it's difficult.
It's
you know,
too crisp.
At the end of the day, like what do we really know? But from just visuals alone, I thought it looked a little video gamey. Music was good. It was nice hearing, you know, all the OG motifs and shit.
Very nostalgic.
I haven't heard like a new piece of music though, if you get what I mean. Like, everything's very like derivative or like just offsets of the originals.
Yeah, I think that's
is there like a theme song for this show?
I don't know.
Is there like a...
Let me check.
Yeah, we haven't heard it yet. So I guess we'll see. But yeah, it's so far it's mainly just kind of like lots of nostalgia, whilst also introducing us to a new set of characters, and I can't lie, I'm intrigued. Mind you, there is still a huge part of me that feels the same as I do when I watch Star Wars now, prequels at least, or any Star Wars, which is, what's the point if it all leads up to it being poo? You know, it's like even when they were trying to kind of like at the beginning, the scrolling text of 100 years before Daenerys, or the end where, the song of ice and fire shall come, and you're like, yeah, but you're just reminding me of how shit Game of Thrones ended. But don't get me wrong, I want this show to be good. I genuinely want this show to be good so that I can forget how bad Game of Thrones was. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about it, to be fair. What about you, Marcus? What are your thoughts?
I think I echo those sentiments. I mean, I still have like a sour taste in my mouth from Game of Thrones. Like, I actually tried to rewatch it, and I just gave up because I was just like, I know how this ends. And we were saying just before we started recording, but like, you know, the first few seasons are genuinely the best TV that's ever been put out, and then it just very rapidly goes downhill into one of the worst endings since J.J. Abrams tried to end Lost. You know what I mean? Like, it's just terrible. And you're right, like, watching this show, I know some people will be like, well, why can't you just watch the show for what it is? And I'm like, well, I am. And it's set in the Game of Thrones universe, so I know that regardless of how good this show is going to be, in the universe that I'm participating in, it ends terribly. I'm still gonna watch this, obviously. Like, this was I think a really strong pilot episode, and I'm like excited to find out more. I feel like nowadays
cinematography was good.
Oh yeah, like a lot of TV shows nowadays aren't intelligently written; they're just really simple nowadays, I find. So this is exciting to me because it's a George R. R. Martin.
And it seems like he's actually involved again.
Yeah, it's produced. It was created by, wasn't it? Him and someone else. So that is encouraging.
I think yeah. I feel like hopefully at least HBO may have learned from how the final seasons went down with D&D kind of like doing their own thing and George kind of like leave it. Like, it's like bad if the original creator steps away. Like, obviously, he says it's like, conflicts or whatever, he wanted to focus on the books, but whenever it's like the Netflix Avatar The Last Airbender show, now that Brian and DiMartino have left,
it's
there's a
bad.
reason.
Yeah,
it's gonna be like,
it's
oof.
bad. Yeah, exactly.
So it's good to see that they've involved him again, and hopefully he's gonna make sure that this new show heads in a better direction. But so far, so good. Cinematography was beautiful.
Set design
acting
was
good.
great.
It's what you expect now, which I guess you do need to kind of give credit to Game of Thrones and HBO and whatnot, is that this is now just like expected, where it gets to a point where we don't really need to say, we don't even need to kind of like praise anymore, because it's kind of just, yeah, of course it looks good.
HBO have a certain standard.
Yeah.
If you hear that at the beginning of any show, it's going to be good.
There's like
quality.
8 out of 10 chance it's going to be good.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty excited for this season. And do you know how many episodes there are?
I'm gonna say like 10.
Fair?
I don't know.
All right.
10 seems to be the average.
Well, it just feels like you said, it's very nostalgic, but it also just feels good to kind of like every week there's now Game of Thrones again.
Yeah.
I've not felt that in a while, and I'm kind of like,
I'm up for it.
Surprisingly excited.
I'm up for it.
Surprisingly excited. So anyway, that was our reaction and our very brief review of episode 1 of House of Dragons. Marcus, where else can you see us?
All right, don't forget to like, subscribe. Let us know in the comments what you thought about the episode. We're on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. We're on everything. Thanks for watching. I've been Marcus.
And I've been Seb. Peace.